arm like that and to not need to show it off. I mean, he'll dump off in 1 second to Eckler, any of these backs. I think they stumbled upon, I shouldn't say stumbled upon, they obviously did their homework. I look at Herbert, and I know, Peter, this is going to sound like I'm being ridiculous, but I'm like, not only a top 10 quarterback, I think he can go toe-to-toe. I think he's very close going toe-to-toe with all these guys, including Mahomes. I mean, I think he's that gifted. Am I nuts?
No, he's outstanding. Think about this. We went nuts about Trubisky being selected before Mahomes and Watson. Tua Tagovailoa was selected 1 pick before Justin Herbert. You look at the two now, and I know Tua's hurt, and it's been a slow start for Tua, but like, this guy might end up being as good as Mahomes. That's how good Herbert is. And like, how did we miss this yet again? The fact he even went that late in the draft, 6th overall, when you're watching him last night. But he's found the perfect match in the coach. You know there's scar tissue with this fan base, Colin.
Yeah.
The Chargers fan has been through the Marty Schottenheimer 14-2 year and Marlon McCree fumble, and you want to go through Nate Kading missed field goals recently, and even last year, all the losses at the end of the game. And like, Staley is making a point. It's very deliberate. We're not going to play not to lose. We're going to win. 2 weeks ago in Arrowhead, they had a 4th and 5. There was a false start, went to 4th and 9, and he went for it. They got a pass interference. They moved the chains. Last night, they're up 21-0. They're cruising. It's now 21-14. They're in Raiders territory, and you get a 4th and 2, and they don't even question it. It's like, we're going for it. Joey Bosa spoke about it after the game. He's like, at halftime in the past, you'd say, oh my God, we're going to lose it somehow. Staley's not letting it. And I talked to Brandon a bunch over the offseason. He's like, he knew this wasn't just a job. There are ghosts in that franchise. Yeah. There are dragons to be slayed. So you have to go for it. You have to be deliberate about it. They're going for it. They're in attack mode. I respect the heck out of this guy, Brandon Staley, what he's doing. Now, as a cancer survivor, he was 24 years old, had Hodgkin's, came over that, and he's living like, this is all house money now. Let's play and coach that way. I love it. They're believing in him. They're a real team.
Yeah, it's a really great point. There are ghosts. We talked about that. I always used the example years ago. Kurt Schilling was the perfect personality. He may have driven people crazy, but the Red Sox had better teams than the Yankees for a decade, and they couldn't burst through the door. And you needed Schilling, who was just obnoxious and confident. Give me the ball. I'm going to get through the Yankees. And sometimes you need those superstar athletes. By the way, the Cowboys, I have spent the better part of my broadcasting career saying the Cowboys are good but not special, and so I'm sure Texas hates me more than most states. But I will tell you, I watched them this year, and for the first time since I can remember, Schrags, I think they're underrated. I think they're really, really potential.
They're really good.
I know, they are. Your thoughts?
You know, the one team that has put a pounding on the LA defense that Chargers... The Cowboys ran for 200 yards on that team.
Yep.
And the Cowboys put a lot of points. But the difference this year, they got a defense. It's unbelievable what they're doing on defense. Trayvon Diggs has 5 interceptions through 4 games. He's got 8 interceptions through 16 career games. And Sam Darnold on back-to-back drives through picks to Trayvon Diggs. Then you add in Micah Parsons. You add in this kid, Odigizue. They're young. Yeah. They're talented. And Dan Quinn is pulling all the right strings. We knew they were going to score points on offense. The Cowboys' defense, it is what's so impressive right now. Usually, you're right, Colin. I work on a morning show where we talk football. It's good to talk Cowboys, good or bad. They sell. It's nice to authentically believe that this team is worth talking about, and we're not pulling at strings and trying to do something here to make it work and get a rating point. No, it's okay to talk the Cowboys. They are that good, and this defense is the difference this year.
All right, what do you do in Pittsburgh? We spent the entire offseason lamenting it. We always knew that Breeze, at the end of a year doesn't quite have the push. You can see that even in Foxborough, Brady's December numbers, his last several years there, just erode slightly. Ben, though, looks shot, and we're in the first week of October. What to do? I think they're in a really bad space in Pittsburgh. I don't see the plan going forward. Your thoughts?
I'm going to make a comment that is not going to go over great with everyone, especially fans of Green Bay or people on Twitter. This is why they take a Jordan Love. This is why the Giants take a Daniel Jones when Eli is still there. So that when that does happen, and it typically does happen when the quarterback turns 38 years old and his performance starts to slide, it's a smooth transition to not just a quarterback, but a top quarterback, a first-round quarterback, a quarterback you like, Dwayne Haskins is there with Mason Rudolph right now. Neither one of those guys have shown any indication that they are a top tier future quarterback. So there's no reason to pass that torch. But what if the Steelers, with their first round pick this year, had selected a young quarterback? What if the Steelers last year with a first round pick had selected a young quarterback? It might be a exit plan or a at least insurance policy behind Ben. Now here we are, and it's week 5. The Steelers play a ferocious Denver Broncos defense this week. And it's kind of like, it's got to be Ben because, well, we don't really have another option. It's never comfortable when you draft that young quarterback in the first round, when you have the guy there. But guess what? There's a reason teams do this, and this is kind of that situation. I don't think the Steelers are going to find their way out of this thing. Ben's not suddenly going to get younger as the season goes on. They're still going to win games. Mike Tomlin's a good coach. But gosh, they're already in a bind and it's October. That's why you draft the young quarterback in the first round.
Yeah, you're right. You get heat for it, but there's a reason teams do it. The smart ones do it. And finally, I like gossip. Fox just bought TMZ. I'm for that acquisition. I like my occasional gossip. What is an NFL gossip of note this morning?
Shout out to Harvey Levin, who I'm sure is watching this morning.
Harvey.
TMZ icon. Love him with his drink always, just like leaning over in a cubicle. Here's the gossip I got. And Joy might have her ear closer to the ground down there in Miami. But this trade deadline is approaching.
Yes.
And there's still nothing on Deshaun Watson from the league. He's not been suspended. He's not on the commissioner's exempt list. And certainly there has been no verification from the Houston Texans that they are looking to put him in the lineup. They are paying him $10 million a year right now. He is on the roster. He is getting paid. He is not traveling with the team. He is not with the team. He still has a trade demand, and he has a no-trade clause, meaning you can't send him to a place he doesn't want to be. The Miami Dolphins are now 1-3 with Jacoby Brissett, with a feeling that this team is a playoff roster. I know this, that Deshaun Watson's lawyer, Rusty Hardin, has been approached by multiple teams to say, what do you got? We haven't heard anything from the league. There's no jurisdiction. What are we doing here? I would just say keep an eye on this situation as the weeks unfold. Jay Glazer said that the Texans have lessened their trade demands, which was originally 3 first-round picks and 3 additional assets. But as teams are starting to look at the rest of the season and saying, wait a second, we can't fall behind and go 1-3, 1-4, 2-5, and the trade deadline approaches, look for more research and more stuff on Deshaun Watson to get a little bit louder. Again, the league has offered no jurisdiction yet. There has been nothing from the league as far as this guy is out for the rest of the year. Most teams are going to stay away and say that's not our problem. A team, I say the Dolphins, not because I know for a fact that the Dolphins are interested. I say the Dolphins because they had playoff expectations, and now they're 1-3, and this quarterback is really good. If a team feels confident enough in doing it, let's hear these rumors and if they get a little bit louder and louder as the trade deadline approaches.
Check out Schrager's weekly cheat sheet on the Fox Sports app. Inside stuff, players to watch like Deshaun Watson, some pop culture. Great seeing you as always, buddy. You look so comfortable there. You got your hoodie on.
I'm telling you here. This hoodie right here, this is Blake Shelton's bar. I'm wearing it because he's a Cardinals fan. Blake, I watch you on The Voice. If you watch Colin in the Herd, feel free to tweet the show.
Good seeing you, Schrags. Appreciate it as always. We have our Herd Hire.